Hello and welcome to Hump Day Bar Hopping with Styliquin. I'm your host and Styliquin founder Sarah Fletcher, and today we're going to be talking about keeping your website fresh. So what does fresh even mean? When you ask experts about how to get more organic traffic, one of the things that always makes a list is keeping your site fresh. Fresh is a pretty vague term. Fresh like lettuce, fresh like potatoes. It turns out there are different measures of fresh and they are measured differently. Great. So the most basic measurement of fresh content is new blogs, articles, and videos. No real news flashes there. If you're a Shopify site that doesn't add lots of new products, then adding a blog and posting often will help. We'll get to how often later. Social media is another thing that search engines look at. So your Instagram posts, TikTok videos, Facebook updates, all that counts. Google, which owns YouTube, not surprisingly favors video and YouTube channels. You can see why this all starts to look like a racket, right? So what tools do search engines use to determine what's new? Search engines use web crawlers to visit sites and index their content. When a web crawler visits a site, man, web crawler is so hard to say. When a web crawler visits a website, it looks for new content that's been added since the last time it crawled. Now, Google's web crawler, Googlebot, typically crawls popular websites several times a day, but it may only crawl less popular sites once a week or even less. So if you're new, you're not getting crawled all that often. There are things that admins and website owners can do to encourage web crawlers to crawl their sites more frequently. One is to make sure that their websites are well indexed and they use the right keywords and phrases throughout their content. If you're not sure how to do that, there are apps that will streamline the process. Shopify has over 500 in their app store. Okay, so the other thing you hear about is crawler-friendly web design. So your website's design can make a big difference in how often it's crawled by web crawlers. Make sure your website is designed in a way that makes it easy for web crawlers to navigate. Now, here's the important safety tip. None of this has anything to do with what you can see or even if it looks good. You can have the most visually stunning website that is simply awful for web crawlers. Remember, web crawlers are machines. They don't have taste, they aren't cool, hip, or even alive. They only understand what you tell them in words. So what does a website that's beautiful to web crawlers look like? It looks the same as the one that's ugly to web crawlers until you get into the nitty-gritty. Web crawlers want images that are named for what they show with alt tags and meta descriptions. Remember, they're blind. If you don't tell them what it is, they're like, I don't know. They like URLs that are all short, concise, and help describe where they lead. Now, don't use the URL shorteners like bit.ly. Web crawlers may have difficulty crawling and indexing shortened links because the shortened links often contain no information about the destination pages, making it difficult for web crawlers to understand what the page is about. So the short links are better, but if you super shorten them, not better. Avoid using JavaScript and Flash. Flash is ancient, by the way. And be sure to use alt text for all images and videos. So, and let me just say, the reason they don't want you to use something like Flash is it's like putting a PDF up on your website. If you put a PDF up on your website, even though it has a ton of great information, the web crawlers don't know that, right? Because it's in the PDF and they can't crawl the PDF. So you gotta put it out there where the web crawlers can see it. Using an SEO app that scores your content is a good idea. It's easy to miss things, and having a machine point out what machines are looking for just makes sense. It's literally the blind showing you how to lead the blind. Okay, so another thing you can do is submit your website to search engines. If you're a news site or you don't think your site is being crawled, you should submit your website to search engines through Google Search Console and Bing Webmaster Tools. Submitting to these two will tell all the other search engines that your website exists and that you want to be indexed. So you only have to do the two. Okay, and you only have to do it once. So, if you've already done it, you're all set. If you want to see if your site has already been indexed, you can check on any browser using site:operator. So literally, simply type in site colon followed by your URL into any Google or Bing search bars. And if your website appears, you're being indexed. So you're there. Okay, so what is the right amount of freshness? Like fresh. Yeah, okay. So the sweet spot for most bloggers, and you have to sort of extrapolate, is a blogger the same as a website, but sure, whatever, is posting 2 to 3 times a week. And that gives you enough time to produce high quality content while still keeping your audience engaged. Now, if you can't afford to have someone create the content for you, I'm sorry, that's still a lot of work. Like, it's a lot of work. I know. I'm doing it. So here's the thing. You got to do your best. And I don't mean your best like kill yourself to do it. I mean, just be consistent. If you can do it once a week, do it once a week. If you can do it twice a week, do it twice a week. If you can do it 3 times a week, do it 3 times a week. But if you're like, I got a life and kids and a family and stuff going on, and it's not my day job, then start looking into the AI tools that make it go faster, but also pick a cadence that works for you and then stick to it. So freshness is important, but it's not the only thing that search engines look at. If you're a Shopify store and you want an easy way to boost your engagement stats, check out Styliquin. I'll add a quick tour at the end of this video. If you'd like more information about how to outsmart Google, we have a handy guide. I'll put a link in the description below. Well, that wraps it up for keeping it fresh. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week on Hump Day Bar Hopping with Styliquin. We're going to be talking about site speed and how it affects SEO. See you then. Bye-bye. So Styliquin is the green bar over here. And by the way, you can add Styliquin in about 4 clicks to any Shopify site. And you can change the color of the bar to match your website. You can completely brand it. We're going to go over to women's, and then we're going to drag a product onto the Styliquin bar. What? And that's where you get this fabulous full page layout. And you don't have to do anything. This happens automatically. It's going to take all the images in your Shopify carousel, and it's going to turn it into this beautiful, beautiful layout. So if you like something, you're going to add it to your idea board. And these are all the things that I just threw on there so you wouldn't have to watch me do a whole bunch of shopping. And Styliquin allows shoppers to collect all the things that interested them. Like, they're not ready to buy, but they're like, yeah, that's cool. I like it. If you've ever watched a woman shop, she has 17 open tabs. And by the way, the comment I get from most men is, I would totally shop that way. But I invented it for women. Anyway, so if you want to add something to your cart, you just drop it into your cart from Styliquin. If you want to take it out of your cart, you take it out of the cart. You can move things around. You can change colors. You can change sizes. It gives you total control over, it's like a pre-cart. It's a persistent pre-cart. Styliquin makes shopping faster and more fun, so shoppers will look at about 185% more products when they use Styliquin, and they'll spend about 70% more time on site. Great stats, right?